Well, here we are. Not really sure what I wanted to talk about, but I'd been noodling around this idea, having looked at OCS, and I've got this new GOS Lite game called Hanut. I think that's correct way to pronounce it. We'll wait for Dan Lilly to tell us if that's correct or not. And I've been thinking about systems and thinking about how complex some things can appear at first glance, and then when we start to get into it, we become more comfortable with it, and we start to understand more about what's going on in a given system, and then sometimes that can cross-pollinate your ease of learning into another system. And so I was watching some video, and this guy was talking about intelligence and about how, because we live in such a complex world, we tend to try and break things down into concepts that we can sort of manage, and we apply an icon, is the word he used actually, an icon to a particular concept or precept or notion or system or whatever the case may be, and then that has some sort of meaning to you, and then you're able to share that icon with someone and go, oh well, this means this, and then someone can go, oh yes it does. And it struck me that that's kind of what we do in wargaming, right? Where we're looking at military history stuff, and there's a set of icons and iconography that we can use as reference points for. Armor is a square with a oval inside it, and infantry is a cross, and cavalry is two cross sabers or whatever it may be. AT guns and engineering icons and things like that. And as those things, and so we take them all as kind of as a given, as even if you've got just the mildest experience with a war game or wargaming or board wargaming, not historical gaming, not trains, and then probably not coin games per se, but with hex and counter games and area movement, impulse, that sort of stuff, where the icons are really telling us the story about what a counter or what a piece represents to us. And we take all that in and we go, oh, okay, I got it. And then we look at the numbers and go, oh, well, the number on the left is combat number. A number on the right is the movement number. A number in a different font or superscript or top left-hand side or top right-hand side will mean something. And where complexity comes in for me is when we see a new system and there might be more than two numbers, right? Or there might be more than four numbers, or the numbers might be colored. And it takes a little while for us to get used to that set of icons and that set of meanings that people want you to grasp. So, a great example is, two examples come to mind off the top of my head. Thin Red Line Games have a set of different colored numerals on the counters that represent different unit types and different unit capabilities. And then Vento Nuovo Games, the block war game company, they used different colored circles on the blocks to represent the different levels of quality and the degradation of morale and capability over time as you took losses. and once you got familiar with those things, you were able to go, oh, okay, I get it, it's that. TCS did the same thing with white numerals and black numerals and yellow boxes around things, and so does OCS and BCS and all those guys. And GMT and Simonich's games with the red dots for elite units and things of that nature, we become super familiar. And as you can see, I'm rattling all these off, right? Because we know them intrinsically now. And that then lets us free our minds up a little bit to then start thinking about, well, where am I at? What am I trying to do? Where do I want to get to? And then how am I going to get there? Like, what are all the little sets of strategies or actions or items that I need to consider, both in terms of historically and winning the game, and but then also mechanically, how do I execute that against the rules? How do I go attack a town or dislodge a unit or surround a unit or put someone out of supply or degrade that unit, DG it or disrupt it or route it or whatever it may be, whatever the terminology is for the given system. We want to understand how we want to focus on how we can do those things. And I just thought that was kind of interesting that when I heard this little presentation, I was actually looking for videos from my son about communication skills because he's going to do a 40-minute presentation at the end of his school year, and it's a pretty robust exercise that he's got to go through. And so I was trying to give him some tools because he doesn't really want to hear it from dad. All right, so just because I've done 1,000 presentations doesn't mean I know anything. Anyway, and so as I came across this subject, they were reviewing a gentleman's presentation that was talking about intelligence and talking about how we abstract and reduce down our world because it's so complex and so difficult that we break things down into sort of icon level sets of meaning, and then we're able to share those ideas and explain those ideas to people, and we're also then able to make generalizations and assumptions about those ideas and thoughts and icons, and then potentially transplant them and transfer them into other situations because we can abstract, right? We have the ability to look at something and then think about other things and see how that might apply. Animals don't do that, right? I don't think. So that's one of the cool things about being human. Anyway, so there was that. And it was just a little 2-second thing I wanted to share with you that took 7 minutes. So we'll talk to you later. All right, bye.